School for today's soccer matchup between the Stevens Point Area High School Panthers and your hometown Hudson Raiders. Please turn your attention to the video board for a message from our captains for this year's team.
The WIAA favors Panthers, and Hudson High School requires good sportsmanship and education-based and scholastic events.
We ask all in attendance to appreciate the efforts of both teams, the coaches, and the officials in a positive manner. We all play an important role in providing opportunities for all participants to compete in a healthy and safe environment.
Lastly, please be reminded that state law prohibits the use of alcohol and tobacco products in an area used by public schools. Would you all please rise and honor America by removing your hats for the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Today's anthem was performed by the cast of Hudson High School's fall musical Cinderella, which will have performances November 4th through 13th, and tickets are available online. At this time, we would like to recognize our officials for today's event. This week marks our annual Fall Sports Officials Appreciation Week, which is celebrated around the nation. Thank you for giving your time, energy, and patience to this wonderful sport. Oftentimes, we take for granted the effort it takes to officiate a game. Without you, these opportunities would not be possible. Please join us in standing applause for our officials at this event. Thank you for what you do. And now for our starting lineups. For the Panthers, number 1, Efren Jaimes Patino Jr. Number 4, Deacon Yang. Number 5, Ian Anderson. Number 6, Gabe Field. Number 9, Cole Anderson. Number 10, Diego Mata. Number 11, Ben Omernick. Number 12, Carter Guide. Number 15, Shade Kaiser. Number 17, Tyler Falkovich. And number 19, Ben Johnson. The Panthers are coached by Derek Bell. And here we go, everyone. Welcome to another great soccer matchup here with your Hudson Raiders on the River Channel. Today, this is the second round of the sectional playoffs, and the Raiders are the number 1 seed, and having won their last game against Chippewa Falls, are now hosting the Stevens Point High School Panthers here at Hudson Raiders Stadium. It's an absolutely beautiful day for soccer. About 75 degrees today, a little bit of a breeze, but perfect fall day for soccer here in Hudson, Wisconsin. So we're glad to have you listening in, and we'll see what happened with the Raiders. So the Raiders are in the dark. It's actually a grayish blue colored uniform, playing from left to right on your screen, and the Stevens Point area senior high Panthers, we'll call them SPASH, or we'll call them the Panthers today, are in white, playing from right to left on your screen. As usual, we certainly love people tuning in and watching the game here online live or recorded, and always like to know who's watching, so please give a shout out to who you are, where you're from, and who you're watching. And I'll give you a shout out here on the broadcast. So looks like a foul on the Raiders. A little push from behind is going to give Stevens Point a free kick, which the Raiders, Darren Chuckle, takes promptly and moves it up the field. Sends it up deep. Going to pull the goalkeeper out, but no one really there to challenge. And goalkeeper hits that ball out of bounds. It'll be a Raiders throw-in. And a clear by the Panthers, and the Raiders will have a throw-in deep in their own territory. Today is, this whole week has been High School Sports Officials Appreciation Week, and so we had a little ceremony appreciating our officials for today's game. Always good to have them. Can't play the game without them, so referees get a lot of abuse these days, so it's nice to appreciate them when we can. There's a really nice play by the Raiders, and Berger with the goal. Really smart play by Sean Berger. Plays an errant pass and puts that past the goalkeeper. And that's a goal for your Raiders. Number 3, Sean Berger. So at the 2-minute and 49-second mark, Sean Berger, I don't have the official numbers in front of me, but Sean, probably the leading scorer on the team, deposits a really nice play. And what's really great there is Sean did not overdo that. He knew he had a step on the goalkeeper and just played that ball exactly the way he needed to, didn't overhit it. And you know, I used to coach Sean when he was younger, and a lot of younger guys will crush that ball because they feel like they have to crush it into the net. But as they grow, they learn to simply place that and get the score. So really nice play by Berger. I think that might have been Chuckle with the inner pass. It's either him or Aaron Sparling. Looked like perhaps the goalkeeper was going to get that one, but Berger went hard at it, and Sean has deceptive speed. And here we go. SPASH with their own try. Ooh. Wow, that was a heck of an attempt there by Stevens Point, getting some penetration. That was number 15. Shade Kaiser had 2 good opportunities. He had one shot that Toby Schneider was able to deflect, and then Shade got I'm going to watch it here on the replay right here. Tried to sneak one past Toby, just like Sean Berger did on the other end. But Toby stopped that, and then he got a second try, but just put it high of the goal. Tried to kind of chip it over Toby Schneider and put it a little too high, but that was a little too close for comfort. But hopefully that's a wake-up call for the Raider defense to tighten it up a little bit. There we go. Nicky Allen off with a nice stretch play there on the defensive end. Good defensive play there by Cohen Balapu. It's going to give the Panthers a corner kick, though. And corner kicks are always a risky play. Anytime you can put the ball directly into the scoring area makes it troublesome. Oof. It's a pretty nice ball, a little long, a little tight to the goal, but definitely scoreable. And SPASH got ahead on that, but kind of went off awkwardly and out of bounds, and that's going to give the Raiders a free kick or a goal kick. Raiders quickly get that ball up the field. Looks like that's Owen Wassman. Muthaden there with a nice play, but they did call him off sides. And so we'll bring it back, and SPASH will have a free kick at about the 12-yard line of the football field here.
Last weekend, Friday night, when I walked out of here, it was like 29 degrees. And then across country on Saturday morning, it was that exact same temperature.
Well, and next weekend's supposed to be the same way.
Next weekend, that was
Looks like ball's out of bounds. Be a Raiders throw in deep in their own territory. Again, another Raiders throw-in.
As of right now, game time 57 on Friday. I'll take it.
yeah, that's perfect.
Are they going to do anything with the board this fall?
They're gonna take it down. November 28th.
Cool. And that lamp, that light on the flag, they'll shine at the house.
Really?
Good head over by the Raiders. Sets up a big shot by Chuckle. A lot of people in the way there, though, and we'll now see SPASH try to push it up, but the Raiders come back. Didn't like that. It was a little from behind, but looked a little on the side, too, but might have been a little more contact than necessary by Aaron Sparling. So SPASH will have a free kick here. Raiders are here due to their victory Tuesday night over Chippewa Falls High School. That was a 10-0, 10-1 victory maybe, but it was big. And Stevens Point defeated Wausau West, and so they're here today. And the winner today will be playing next Thursday. Depending on who wins what games will determine what location that game is at. Oh, and there's Berger again, using his speed to his advantage, and the Stevens Point goalkeeper kind of waiting on that ball. He needs to go get that ball, and Berger's going to go get it every time. And that did play off the goalkeeper, so the Raiders now will have a corner kick, and the Raiders have had a lot of success this year on corner kicks. Darren Chuckle is Aaron Sparling, great headers. This time looks like they set up Chuckle, and he takes a shot looking for that upper right-hand corner, which is if you play it right and a short corner kick like they did there, and you got the chance to bring it out, you can really set up a nice angle for that shot. Chuckle just missed it by maybe a foot or two wide, but a good attempt there for the Raiders. Wassman sends it through. There's Muthaden. Oh, and there is a trip outside the box. Not a purposeful trip, but more of an incidental trip, but it's a penalty nonetheless. And the Raiders are going to get a free kick here just outside the box. Referee's going to march the wall back. They have to give 10 yards. Looks like that is Wassman, no, Aaron Sparling, and oof. Two great attempts by the Raiders. Ross with a nice ball in and hit the crossbar, and then Berger getting the rebound and just deflecting off the goalkeeper. And if Muthaden hadn't been looking the other way, he might have been able to just pound that ball home, but everybody was turned around not knowing where that ball was or where it was going, so can't blame him for that. But good playing by the Raiders, keeping the pressure on, and now they have another corner kick. Give the Raiders too many opportunities, and they are going to put one of these away. Harry Ross with a beautiful ball in. Chuckle gets a head on it, and it's in the goal. I think that was Chuckle with the goal. We'll have to take a peek here and see. That's a goal for your Raiders. I'm just going to make sure who scored that. Oh, yeah, that's Darren Chuckle with the goal. Darren Chuckle scoring on the goal. Nice header by Chuckle, as I think said about 3 minutes ago. Darren is probably one of the best players I've seen in about 45 years of playing and coaching at heading the ball at the high school level. He drove that ball and, down low and hard, and it actually played off of a SPASH player. But that still is a goal. So Raiders now 2-0 at about the 10-minute mark, and looking good so far. Looks like we have a large contingent of people watching. Looks like we lost video for a little bit. Thanks, Mark Lee, for that. We would have checked it out, but it sounds like it's back online. So hopefully the audio is now working. Sounds like it is. And glad to have so many people tuned in. We got Bob Nelson and Denise watching Seabass, or as he's more formally known, Connor Hauser. Always good to have you watching. From Jupiter, Florida, typically our furthest location. There is Muthaden battling out on the sideline, sending it out of bounds. Will be a throw-in for Stevens Point. Ballapie with a nice step up there to take that ball defensively. Berger wins that one out wide. Can't do much with it sometimes, goes out of bounds. Be a throw-in for SPASH. Not sure what that call was. Some kind of an offsides perhaps, and Raiders send it up, kick it out of bounds. Be a throw-in for Stevens Point. Quick throw-in, and that's off Stevens Point. That'll be a Raiders throw, and that's going to bring number 20 Owen Netterlow into the game for the Raiders. It's number 20 Owen Netterlow in the game for your Raiders. Owen joined the varsity squad a little late in the season, but has played well and seen his playing time increase. It's good to see Owen. Crossed paths with Owen a little when he was younger with some winter ball. Spent many years coaching Hudson Raiders traveling soccer teams, and Remember Owen when he was a much smaller, younger man, so it's good to see him having success here and getting on the field. Probably a little more physical than Owen. Actually, since we're talking about Owen, then he actually needed to be on that play, and SPASH gets the call. Kind of undercut the guy a little bit, which is typically going to lead to a call. It's Aaron Sparling fighting it out. Ball must have hit Netterlow's hand, and SPASH is going to get a quick handball, or maybe because it hit the referee, since that was kind of an informal drop there, and he was going to let Stevens Point have it. It was their ball, and so it must be because it hit the ref. Refs can play that in a variety of ways. SPASH kind of dangerously playing that ball back and forth in the middle among the Raiders, but they do get it out, and are now bringing it up the field. That's Scotty Thompson giving a shout out to his dad, Scott Thompson, who's watching from Superior, Wisconsin. Good to have all the Thompsons or any Thompsons watching. We glad to have you. And yep, we are looking at the mighty Raiders here, starting off strong with this 2-0 lead. We'll see if they can add to that. And Amy Beversdorf, good to have you listening, and thank you for confirming that the audio is not only working, but it's great. So we appreciate that. Keep them coming. Love to know who's listening and watching and what you're seeing. But so far, it's all Raiders. We're about 16 minutes into the match, and the Raiders are up 2-0. Stevens Point has had a couple opportunities, though, so Raiders got to stay on their toes. Raiders firsthand know what happens when penalty kicks get involved. One of their only losses of the year was to River Falls, a quality opponent nonetheless, but River Falls won that match on 2 penalty kicks over the Raiders, so can't feel too comfortable with even a 2-goal lead in the playoffs. So Netterlow with the foul. Again, maybe a little more physical from behind than is acceptable. So it's all right, though. He's going to foul this up now. Wassman playing around with that. Tries to get it out, but taken by the Panthers. Nicky Allen off with the clear. Good left-footed clear. Berger playing the ball well. I think there was a handball there. Referee saw it. And it's going to be a free kick for the Raiders. This is one that is a Aaron Sparling specialty. Well, it looks like Nicky Allenoff's going to take this one. He's going to play it short to Sparling, who's going to chip it in. That's a different variation of what they've done in the past. Usually Aaron will take that ball and pop it into the scoring area. And but this time they played it a little short to him, and he brought it up another 10 yards to try to get a little better placement on that ball. Sent it a little bit long. Again, another looks like maybe a jersey grab, arm grab by the Panthers, and the Raiders with the free kick. Panthers send it deep. Gets all the way back to, ball comes back to Toby Schneider, who because the Raiders played it to Toby, he could not use his hands, so he tried to play it back along the sideline and was basically intercepted by Stevens Point. And good thing was they didn't have much angle to do anything with there. And but it is going to give them a corner kick because it came off. And now we see something interesting maneuvers there by SPASH. I don't think I've ever seen that in my years of soccer. Of team kind of having a little chain gang there to move it. There's Berger using his speed. Gets by him, sends the ball. Oh, what a play. You can't write that up any better. It's going to be a corner kick. Great, great takeaway by Berger. And we have a substitute. We have Quentin Muthaden coming back in the game. Number 18, Quentin Muthaden back in the game for the Raiders. And correction, that is not going to be a corner kick. I thought that ball was played off of, boy, I sure just saw the replay. It looked like Netterlow kicked it off the goalkeeper, but I didn't maybe have the best angle, and it doesn't really matter what I think. It only matters what the refs think, and so we play. And SPASH had a goal kick there, but that play by Berger was, great because he used his speed, got the angle, put a nice ball on. Harry Ross had a really nice header. Unfortunately, went right to the goalkeeper. And then, Netterlow was there to try to put it in again. Awkward opportunity for him, not the best, and send it out of bounds, but a really nice play all around by the Raiders offense. Comes Muthaden, challenging on the... Oh, nice takeaway by Quentin, who's going to send it across immediately. Whew. It's a nice play by Quentin, and I like the idea of sending that ball across right away. Kind of a sneak play, because most players might carry that up another 5 to 10 yards. But that gives the defense time to get back, so Quentin kind of had a little sneak attack there and sent that ball across early, and there wasn't much there, but the defense just got to it before the Raiders. But nice play. SPASH there was a nice takeaway. Oof. And Alanoff heads that ball out across the end line. That'll be a corner kick for Stevens Point. Here we go. Big corner kick, not bad, a little long and wide, but not a bad kick. Still possessed by Stevens Point. Sends across a kind of a crossing play way out. Really nice play there by Netterlow, but a little out of the reach of Muthaden. Number 3, Winston Hill in the game for the Panthers. Clear by Sparling, and off the ricochet is going to go to Berger. Kind of gets wrapped up, and Netterlow ends up with it. Gets it back to Aaron Sparling, who just sends it deep. Harry Ross with a nice step up there to take that ball with the header. Berger sets up Ross. Really nice play there. Oh, and Muthaden kind of got tripped up and hopped right up, and the ball was right there, and took a quick shot. Wasn't able to get a lot of power on it since he really couldn't move into it. He was just standing there. Boy, that kick was almost outside of the box. That punt. That would be... oh, here comes Berger again. That ball's bouncing tough on him and gets out. I'll watch a replay here. Looks like we got another sub. Can't tell who that is. Wassman. Number 7, Owen Wassman back in the game for the Raiders. Throw in here for the Panthers. Raiders pushing that ball around, kind of a lot in the middle there to try to get through, and Stevens Point's going to take that ball. Try to play it out wide, but then Henry Vandenbark is there to adeptly take that ball away and sends it up the line nicely to Wassman. And he tried to play it off him to get the corner kick. That's one of the things the Raiders really try to do, because they are so successful with the corner kicks, is they like to get the ball deep and play it off their opponent to get a corner kick opportunity. And there's Balapi with a nice play, feeds it up to Muthaden, and kicked out of bounds by the Panthers. Raiders will have the throw. But when Owen Wassman got that ball, he was not able to get it off of the Panthers. So
Just
number 7, Eli Chang in the game for the Panthers. So we'll hope number 10, that's Diego Mata, that he is all right and gets back in the game soon. Playoff games are too big. You really just hope everybody stays healthy and gets to play to their maximum potential. So we'll hope Diego is back on the field here soon. Ball will be a Raiders throw-in. A few times this season, I've noticed some fans getting upset with referees when a player is hurt that they don't stop the game immediately. But unlike some sports, that is not how soccer works. Referees have the ability to pause the game for an injury when it's most appropriate and when it's safe for the players. There's a couple things that come into that. So they also look for a logical stoppage of play. You know, I've coached and played soccer for about 47 years. Never was somebody so injured that 5 seconds of waiting was going to change anything with that. So when you see that, just realize that referees have the ability to make that call when it works best for the flow of the game and for safety and all those things. And that was the case here. The player was down. Referee let that ball play out a little bit. It went out of bounds. It was a good time to stop the game, and everything worked out. So Stevens Point, playing some good ball in general, moving the ball up the field. Had a couple scoring chances early, but not really getting consistent shots on goal or things like that. So Raiders keeping the pressure on. There's Berger again. A lot of defense on him, pushing the ball back. Foul there on the Raiders, a little push from behind. Scotty Thompson, I am not only a bad bowler, but I really don't bowl much at all, if you're referring to me there. But I enjoy the game. I'm just not very good at it. So, and thank you, Mark Lee, for the comment about the football game. I am the backup PA announcer for the football team, and it was certainly fun to watch that playoff game and be part of that last night and see the big come-from-behind victory by the Raiders last night here at Raiders Stadium in their victory. So fun to see both these teams. I know a lot of these boys. I have a senior of my own at Hudson High School. I have a son who graduated a couple of years ago, and again, I've coached and been involved with a lot of these boys and activities over the years. So it's great to see both teams having a lot of success. Thanks for that shout out, though. Here we go. Raiders keep up the pressure. They're going to get the throw in here. We're at about the 28-minute mark. Raiders continue to win 2-0. For those of you just tuning in, those are the Raiders in the dark uniforms, playing from right to left, and Stevens Point in white. Hallonoff with a sneaky ball through. Sparling kind of fighting it out. Got a kind of bouncy on him. Harry Ross with a really nice play back to Balapew, who sends the ball across the field. Some good play there by Stevens Point, moving the ball around and splitting some defense. Really nice play by Balapew there. Sparling's going to send it up. Wassman wins it. He's surrounded by defense. And I got to say, that's pretty good defensive play by Stevens Point there. But Sparling's going to win it again, and he's going to send it into Muthaden, who bounces a little hard off of. Not sure Quentin was expecting that ball at him there. He did a good job of trying to do something with it, though. Harry Ross wins it again. Balapew winds up. Chuckle with the ball now. He sends a nice ball to the far post. Little high, little lofty, but good attempt there by Chuckle to set up his team. Ball gets down deep to Hallonoff, who's going to play it into Schneider. Again, because that ball was played from a Raider, Toby was not able to pick that ball up. He has to play it with his feet. Coached Toby for a number of years, and he's very good with his feet. Very good field player, as well as a goalkeeper. So most of the time, that's not an issue for him to handle that ball very well at all. Uh-oh. Berger had time to actually set that ball up, but didn't quite get the meat on that shot. Kind of a lean back shot, which takes away a little power, and wasn't able to kind of move into that ball, but still a nice play by Berger. Keep the goalie on his toes. Really sneaky pass there by Vandenberg. A little move forward and then a quick pass back. Nice play there to set it up. Raiders get it deep. Muthaden nicely plays it. He's getting a lot of pushing, but no foul there. Berger plays it back to Balapew. Raiders are hitting that ball several times, a little hard though. They got to dial it back a little bit. Boy, that goalkeeper is playing the line there on his punts. That one again looked like it was darn close to being outside the box. Raiders continue to move it. Oof, I'll tell you, I just watched the replay. That was darn close to being outside of the box, but too close to call. Looks like Netterlow is going to come back in the game for the Raiders. It's number 20, Owen Netterlow back in the game for the Raiders. We're now down to about 8.5 minutes in the half. So Netterlow moving that ball. Taken by the Panthers. Sparling stepping up to disrupt that play. Goes for a power cross there. There's a nice ball. That's going to be Berger's. Oof, offsides on Berger. The thing about offsides is technically most people don't actually see the player till well after the ball is kicked, and offside is technically when the ball is kicked. So despite the player maybe not looking offside by the time you've changed your view, they may have been offsides when the ball was kicked. So that's always the tricky part of offsides, as well as just where it is and how it happens. So Stevens Point playing that ball out of bounds now, deep in Raider territory. Going to give him a throw in here. Looks like Vandenbark heading deep to take this throw to his offensive teammates. It's a nice throw. Chuckles got it outside. He's going to send it in. It's going to bounce hard, and Berger was in there to kind of disrupt things, and he did a good job because the goalie was not able to handle that ball real well, and but nobody else was there to kind of pick up the pieces. That's where you hope there's a player kind of hanging out back around the goal box line or the PK mark to pick up that kind of a stray ball. But nobody for the Raiders was there, which is fine. It happens. SPASH again with a good attempt there, but kind of tagged that ball, got under it a little too much, sent it high and wide. Good attempt there, though, by number 11, Ben Omernick. So good play there by Ben, recognizing he had an alley. And in soccer, you have to take your shots when you get them, even if they're a little bit long, because you never know if they're going to score. You never know how the bounce will come off the goalkeeper. So you want to mix in some short scoring opportunities and long scoring opportunities. It's my friend Ben Wassman out at Park City, Utah. Good to have you, Ben. Owen's playing well. Hope all is well out there in Utah. Balapu again sending in a high ball. A little too inside on that, though, so easily managed by the goalkeeper. Harry Ross with a nice take there, despite kind of being held. There's Berger again using his speed. Sean was, he didn't have a great angle for that shot, and he kind of unleashed it. But that's going to end up being a throw-in for Stevens Point. Referee paused the game momentarily, thought there was a substitution, but it was a Stevens Point player at the trainer's table, which is kind of in the area of where the substitutes come into the game. Not the first time we've had that little mistake happen. Nice ball there by Chuckle over to Harry Ross, who's going to send it in. What I'm seeing is Stevens Point they don't tend to get the ball cleanly out of the box. If the Raiders start really pressuring those balls into the box like that, they're going to see more and more scoring opportunities. We're now down under 4 minutes in the first half. Hudson Raiders continue to lead 2-0 over Stevens Point High School Panthers. Good penetration there again by number 11, Ben Omernick of the Panthers, but he ends up getting the corner kick. So again, the Raiders they want to hold on to this lead. They want to hold on to this shutout. So you're going to see an awful lot of Raiders packing into that box to try to keep the score right where it is. It's a nice ball. He put it right where you want it. Nobody could get on that. Netterlow gets a foot on it. Coach was hoping somebody was going to get ahead on that ball right away, but not as easy to do. And they get it up. Berger sets up to take the throw, but Balapu comes up and he will take it. We're now down under 3 minutes. Balapu into Berger. Sends it over to Ross. Sends it wide to Vandenberg, who's going to play it down and up. See, that's a nice ball movement there. And Vandenberg puts a deep one in, maybe a little deeper than he wanted and not quite the angle, so it'll be a Stevens Point throw-in. Goalkeeper takes it. Harry Ross tries to get it out of the air with his feet and mistimed it a little bit. Nice ball by Balapu there to Berger. We'll see what Sean does. He's going to use his speed because he knows he's beaten this guy a few times. And he does again. He gets it across nicely, but really there's only Owen Wassman in there. Netterlow too, but not enough to take advantage of a play like that, unfortunately. And kind of a trip-up knockdown there by Stevens Point. Raiders are going to get a free kick here. It's about a minute and a half left in the half. Chuckle and Ross lining up for this kick. Be a little bit of sneakery here of maybe who's going to take it, but it'll probably be Chuckle. Oh, and Darren hits it off the left post. It was a nice shot. 6 inches to the right, 4 inches to the right. That's a goal, but it wasn't. So we play on, and we're now down to about 1 minute in the half. Quentin Muthaden in the game for the Raiders, and 1 minute in the half. Vandenberg with the throw. Muthaden plays that to Wassman. Back to Vandenberg. Into Chuckle. Trying to get it up into the corner, but the Panthers are able to squash that opportunity. And they're moving it up. We're now down to about 25 seconds. Tough play for Stevens Point there, and it goes out. Balapu with the quick throw to Berger. Now down to 18 seconds. Berger's got to do something quick, but he is quick, and it's a nice play. Feeds it back, and there's a goal by Owen Wassman. Beautiful play. That's a goal for your Raiders. Number 7, Owen Wassman, off the assist by Sean Berger. So with just 10 seconds left in the match, or in the half, the Raiders expand their lead by 1 more. Really set up nicely by Berger, using his speed and his skill, and then playing that ball really to the sweet spot in a situation like that, playing it back, and then Wassman there to bury it. So great play. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's our half. Your Hudson Raiders lead 3-0 over the Panthers. Concession stand is open, everyone. Please stop in for a snack. And here we go, back for the second half of the playoff sectional matchup between the Hudson Raiders and the gray, bluish gray, playing from right to left on your screen now, and the visiting Stevens Point Area High School Panthers in white, playing from left to right. Raiders in the first half really largely dominating play and taking a 3-0 lead into the half. Third goal coming with just 10 seconds left in the first half. Scoring for the Raiders in the first half, Sean Berger with the first goal, Darren Chuckle with the second goal, Sean Berger with the first goal. Yeah, Darren Chuckle with the second goal, and Owen Wassman with the third goal. And Owen scoring, it seems like maybe shortly after his dad got online. So Ben, he probably got on at just the right time at least. And good to see Owen get on the board here. Raiders play that corner kick short. Ball is all over in the scoring area. Berger takes a crack at it. There's about 5 defense in front of him. Plays off the defense, give the Raiders another corner kick. Looks like Harry Ross and Aaron Sparling over in the corner. We're going to play it short. Little two-man game. Sparling plays that in nicely. Muthaden kind of plays that off his chest a little bit and tries to set it up. It was a nice play by Quentin, but tough to materialize there. A lot of defense around. Goalkeeper is kind of a short, high punt. Vandenbark gets a head on it. And Vandenbark little mix up there, but Vandenbark thought it was Stevens Point. Oh, actually called a foul, I guess, on Vandenbark. So Stevens Point will get a kick. A lot of confusion there, but referee had it all sorted out. Has it all set up. It's another ball where not a bad ball by Stevens Point, kind of where you want it, and they get a good opportunity, but gets deflected off of Raiders defense, and Toby Schneider easily handles that ball. So the Raiders continuing to play well here in the section tournament, trying to get to state for the third straight year. And winner of today's match will play Thursday night. Most likely that match would be probably the other match today is Eau Claire Memorial probably taking on DC Everest, so the winner of that match will play the winner of this match. Most likely that'll be Eau Claire Memorial, the number 2 seed, but you never know. And just like you never know here, a 3-0 lead is not something any coach in the playoffs is going to feel too comfortable with. Penalty kicks and other fluke scores. There's too much time for those to happen here for any coach to be too settled in. So good hustle there by Aaron Sparling to win that ball back. Chuckle with a nice little, Chuckle, nice play. Goes for cross and plays off the back of the Panthers, but Chuckle was hoping that would go out across the end line for a corner kick, but it went off the sideline, so the Raiders will have a very deep throw in. Looks like Balapiu all the way up to take that. Muthaden playing around with it. I think he was trying to negotiate that to get it out off the end line for a corner kick. Big throw in by Balapiu. He goes long there. Chuckle heads it over. Berger heads it further. Not sure what the call there is. Probably was Chuckle was leaning. Berger was leaning a little much. Might have been why the foul was called. High short punt taken by Vandenberg. A lot of defense converging on number 9 here in Sparling there. Nice play by Chuckle. Coming back, got grabbed, fought through it, got the pass back. Nice play, Darren. Now ball's out wide to Muthaden. Oop. I think he and Wassman got their wires crossed a little bit. Thought something else was going to happen. Spash tries to play a cross ball there, but nobody home. Chuckle takes that one. Big collision, but yeah. Owen was offside there when the ball was kicked again. The thing about offsides is it's awfully hard when you're 40 yards ahead of the ball to know if when it's kicked and when it's onside, offside, but it did look like he was offside that time. Thank you, Sean. I'll probably say your name wrong, erroneous. DC Everest lost in the first round. Thank you for that, and thank you for the update today. The Memorial has won today. They won by a score of 5-1, putting them in the next round. That meant they were playing, must have been Eau Claire North, so an Eau Claire matchup. Berger with a nice play there. But nobody home for Berger's little pass back there after some nice penetration. So the game between the Eau Claires is going to give Memorial the win, and should the Raiders hold on, that'll be the third time they'll play Memorial this season. And those teams are pretty accustomed to that, though, being the 1 and 2 seed for years here. In this section typically. So here comes Aaron Sparling. He puts that's a nice ball in. Chuckle really gets a head above everybody, but didn't get that one on the goal. It's number 10, Eli Chang in the game for the Panthers. And number 20, Owen Netterlow for your Raiders. There's Wassman. Oh, what a play. Big turn. Takes the shot. Buries it in the far lower corner. Great play, Owen Wassman. That's a goal for your Raiders. Owen Wassman with the score. So, Raiders now with a 4-0 lead. And Wassman with the last 2 goals. Definitely fun to see. And maybe a little easier to breathe for Coach Sullivan, but he is hits the flag and goes across the end line, and that's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders. Oh, actually, I guess he's calling I don't know what he's calling. Now he's calling a goal kick.
Hey, Kayla. The admissions and stuff. And then concessions, I think you can just stay open while you clean up, and once you're done cleaning up, you can shut down. I do have Chipotle orders scheduled to be delivered.
Good slide tackle by Connor Sparling. We heard a lot about Aaron. Aaron plays in the middle where there's a lot of action, but Connor played that slide tackle beautifully.
Yep. I made it that far without a mistake or starting. But I think
Vandenberg with a nice little footwork there, resets, gets it up to Aaron Sparling. Tapped out by the Panthers. Berger now fighting it out. That's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. I think Sean was hoping for a little push there, but not going to get it, and they're going to get the corner kick. Number 4, Brennan Balapew entering the game for the Raiders. So now we have 2 Sparlings and 2 Balapews on the field. Nice corner kick there by Harry Ross. Chuckle flying in there, really trying to pound that header in. But not the best angle for that. A little mix up on the feet, and all right, well, so SPASH had a free kick and decided to play it quickly off, and Sean Berger was within 10 yards, and they kicked it, went off his, or not him, Harry Ross, and it went off his back, and Sean Berger was behind the play and picked it up and had a breakaway, but I guess the referee thought Sean was offside, which maybe he was, and called it back. So it's a nice header out by Chuckle again. Gets a lot of headers each game. He's got a great vertical, and which helps a lot with that. And he's tall. Those two things combination, and has a desire to get those headers. So all those things combined to why Chuckle is such a really great player at heading the ball. Throw in here by SPASH. Nice little cross by them. Snatched out of the air by Schneider. He's going to wait his teammates out as they run up the field. Now about a little over 11 minutes into the half. Raiders in gray leading 4-0 over the Stevens Point Panthers. Another header for Chuckle. There's Berger on the left side again. I think they switched the defense up there and had a little more speed on Berger. There's a really nice ball. Had Sparling and Netterlow both coming in at good angles to bury that, but that's tough. You see it, you think you should score on those every time, but it's awfully hard to have all those pieces timed together. Number 18, Quentin Muthaden in the game for the Raiders. This looks like Sparling and Ross playing the short game here. Oh, Sparling with trying to play it in, gets deflected. Kind of takes away what he was hoping to do with that ball, I think. But nonetheless, it'll be a goal kick for Stevens Point. Goalkeeper takes it. Foul on the Raiders there. Going to give Stevens Point a free kick. Send it over to the left. Stevens Point's done a lot of nice things with the ball. They just have not really had the scoring opportunities today to get on the board much. First about 5 minutes, they had a pretty solid opportunity and didn't capitalize. And then it's been a little lean for them on the scoring side. So the Raiders' defense has really stayed strong. There's Chuckle way out on the side, playing it deep up the field. Trying to take Muthaden, who's got some pretty good speed of his own. And that's off of... Looks like they're going to call the Raiders on... No, they're going to call a foul on Stevens Point. Side judge indicating a hard shoulder. Which you can't do. You can play shoulder to shoulder, but you can't like lean in. You can't drop the shoulder. You can't bang the shoulder. And once you do that, you're often going to get the call. And the Raiders have got it. And a scoring opportunity here for the Raiders at about the 55-minute mark. At Chuckle, Sparling, and Ross all out of disconception. Chuckle plays it short to Ross. It's a good sneaky play. Solom hopping up and down over there. I think, you know, it's a design play, and it was almost perfect. So you try some of those things when you're up 4-0 leading into a game, potentially, if they hold on with Eau Claire Memorial. Because little plays like that can make the difference in those sectional, final, and potential state tournament matches. So you try those out when you can. So we'll see if the Raiders can hold on. Not going to count any chickens before they're hatched here, but when you're up 4-0, you can try a few of those things. SPASH playing some tough D, but Ian Sparling with a quick right-footed shot there. He's pretty good with both legs, but gets under that a little too much. He's got to lean over that ball a little bit more and get that shot down, and then he'll start burying some of these. But it's also, the thing about soccer is you got to shoot when you got the opportunity, and very rarely in soccer, that's why you'll see many more shots than goals, because you shoot when you can, and it's not always perfect, and you don't usually score when it's not perfect. So, or rarely, but here we go. Brennan Ballapie with the throw. Another throw by Ballapie into Muthaden. Plays it over to Harry Ross. Over to Connor Hauser in the game now, number 2. Good to have Connor on the field. I don't know where I missed that, but got Connor Hauser, number 2, playing in the middle. Connor's a junior. I coached him for many years. It's always good to see him on the field as well. So good pressure there. Ross with a push from behind, a little aggressive, and he's going to get a card for that. He had both hands. I think at some point the ref just says, we gotta do something here, and makes the call.
Yellow card on 10.
So looks like looks like what I had missed potentially is that Connor Hauser came in for Darren Chuckle, and now Chuckle has come in for Harry Ross. Anytime you get a yellow card, you have to leave the field immediately. You can enter the game again, but you do have to leave the game, so that's a yellow card on Harry Ross. It's possible we may not see Harry for the rest of this match. You do not want to get 2 yellow cards because then you miss the next match. And they definitely want Harry Ross for a potential next.
30 seconds. I just add 57, 44. 57, 44, yeah.
Ref adding a little time. Thought we did stop the clock when he asked, but we do what the ref asked. So 30 seconds added on. We're now about getting close to halfway through the second half.
Muthaden with the clear there. Spash kind of gets it in, but easily handled by Schneider again. Schneider with a big punt up to Muthaden. Hauser with some good D there, but off of him, so it'll be a Stevens Point throw-in. Chuckle soaring for another header. Probably his 12th or 15th header of the match. Spash again going deep, too deep. Ball really flies on the turf, and it's going to be a goal kick for Toby Schneider. Number 3, Sean Berger back in the match for the Raiders. Netterlow challenging there, and Berger takes that ball. Good defensive play though by Stevens Point, coming in strong and hard, and they take that ball. It'll be a Raiders throw. Looks like Hauser's going to take it, or Balapiu. It's like an offside on the Raiders on the throw-in. So you play, and there's Chuckle with a nice ball up to Netterlow, who sends it back to Cohen Balapiu. Plays it deep, but a little too deep for Muthaden, and that's going to be a Stevens Point goal kick. So again, your Raiders continue to lead here at the 20-minute mark of the second half. Off of 4 goals, 1 by Sean Berger, 1 by Darren Chuckle, and 2 by Owen Wassman. So 3 boys I spent a lot of time coaching in their youth, so always fun to see that trio on the board. Quick throw in there by Stevens Point. Oh, Mr. Chuckle making a correction that Darren's not that tall, and I would agree. I've known Darren since he was about 5 years old, so I'll agree. He's not that tall, actually. Oh, Stevens Point with a great opportunity there. They head it, got a nice head on it, some good power, but off target, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders, it looks like. Number 16, Mac Mazzell in the game for your Raiders. Here again, Berger with a chance. He's got it now, and that's, nicely played though by Berger. Again, going for placement over power. Tries to tuck that in the lower left and just plays it a hair wide. Goalkeeper was playing that pretty well, cutting off the angle. It's amazing how small those scoring angles get when the goalie plays it right. And yet Sean still got a really nice opportunity there. So Netterlow gets it out to Muthaden. Netterlow there fighting it out in the middle. Side judge, another call from the far side judge. He's made a lot of calls today, and little more aggressiveness out of Netterlow than the referee liked, and so they got the kick. Raiders wanting desperately to hold on to this shutout. Interesting pass back there from Chuckle to Schneider. Good battle there. Berger continues to fight it out. Quite a stretch of play by Sean Berger there. Real good aggression from Sean. Great play. And then gets the ball down for the cross, but hits off the foot off a little bit. And now we've got some subs for the Raiders. Number 14, Liam Salama, and number 15, Soren Matson in the game for your Raiders. Looks like a shaken up Panther on the play. And got a substitute coming in. Looks like number 19. Number 19, Ben Johnson in for the Panthers. So it looks like number 5, Ian Anderson, walking off the field. Looks a little better than when he got up, but he's definitely got a little limp to him. We'll hope he is okay as well. Previously, Eli Chang left the game hurt, but he definitely came back and has been playing quite well since his little injury, and we'll hope the same for Ian. So Stevens Point will have a goal kick here, and get the clock going. Kind of a weird bouncy play there from off of Chuckle. Stevens Point gets the ball back though. Mizell back there on defense with Chuckle helping out. Hauser with a nice takeaway, fighting it out. Connor using some of his hockey skills there. They get it out to Muthaden, who brings it in, sends a really nice ball across that could have scored or could have set up Matson there, but Matson was just a little out of reach for that, and the ball's just not the best angle. Played off of by Stevens Point though, so that's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. Number 7, Owen Wassman back in the game for the Raiders. Matson with a big cross there on the corner kick. Mizell trying to tag that ball back in, and he heads it back in, and Netterlow gets ahead. Connor Hauser pops it back into the zone, and Aaron Sparling gets a foot on it, but kind of goes off at a tough angle and is going to give Stevens Point a goal kick. A little more body on that by Chuckle than was necessary, so foul on the Raiders is going to give Stevens Point a free kick. They're going to send it as deep as they can, but Mac Mizzle gets a nice header out. Here we go, Raiders again with the ball and some numbers. They're going to get it out to Wassman. He's going to play it up. There's Netterlow. A little out of reach. Nice play by Efrain Jaimes Patino, the goalkeeper for the Panthers. Nice play by him to make that happen. Good ball across there by Chuckle, but a little too tight, and taken by Jaimes Patino again. Probably in the first half, at least a couple goals probably were in part due to Jaimes Patino not going out to get it, and you saw him go get it this time, which is a good correction on his part to keep that score where it's at. Number 14, Cody Warzella in the game for the Panthers. And number 23, Joao Silva in the game for your Raiders. Nice through ball there to Wassman, but a little out of his reach. Oh, but a nice steal by him and keep the pressure on. That's one thing this team does well, pressuring the ball all over the field. I'd be remiss without saying that this is a River Channel production. And I'm here with my colleague John Tangent, who is running all the technical side of things, the audio, the video, the equipment. I show up and talk, but John does all the work, and he does it well. So I think we pinpointed the audio problem earlier, as we just, there was too much. We had the audio on for a while, and then we turned it off because the noise from the stadium was a little overpowering, and then we turned it back on. So anyway, always good for the River Channel to be sharing the matches. Chuckle again in the middle of the field, and then Connor Hauser on it. Yeah, saw that coming. Hauser with a little more body than necessary, and it's going to have a foul called. Give Stevens Point a free kick. Kind of a dangerous area. That's a shootable area. That's a scoreable location. Stevens Point gearing up for the kick. And that ball went very high, and a little frustration there with another just kick out of bounds. Not really necessary, but slowing the game down. But that's only going to help the Raiders if we can tick the time off the clock. We're now down under 10 minutes. That's number 21, Quinn Packard in the game for your Raiders. Big kick by Toby. Great jump and header by Hauser, but you just can't jump over somebody. You're going to get called on that every time. It's got to largely be straight up. So Raiders appear to be gearing up for some physical play. They'll need that in their next match. It's looking like this is most likely going to end in a Raider victory, which means they'll be playing. It's a nice ball there. Stevens Point again. They've had some opportunities, just not much luck in the next step on those opportunities. Nice crosses, but not many shots off those nice crosses to give them any scoring opportunities. So, but the Raiders are going to play probably their biggest rival, Eau Claire Memorial, on Thursday night. That'll be here at Hudson Raiders Stadium. I believe it's 7 p.m. Should also be here on River Channel. And so, you know, getting your head in this game physically to be ready to play a tough match against them, where the Raiders won the first match, I believe, like 3-2 maybe, and as recently as about a week and a half ago, they tied Eau Claire Memorial 0-0 in a game that gave the Raiders the conference championship. The tie was all they needed due to Eau Claire losing to, oh, here we go, Soren Matson. Takes a nice left-footed shot, though, and didn't have much to work with there, but it was a good left-footed shot. Got a solid hit on it, but not quite the direction that he wanted. So punted out. Now down to about 7.5 minutes in the match. Hudson fights that out well, gets a push off, and now we've got another substitute for the Raiders. Number 13, Connor Sparling back in the game for the Raiders. It's a big throw by Brennan Balapew into Silva. Oh, nice ball through the legs there by Silva up to Matson, but a lot of defense back there. Stevens Point has said we're not going to give up any more if we can help it. Oh, great step up by Liam Salama there. Really nice play by Liam. Nice feed to Silva. Played out by Stevens Point. That'll be a corner kick for the Raiders. So really nice sequence of play there. Salama with a very nice defensive play. Aggressive, stepping up to take that ball, not waiting for it. Feeding it up to Matson, who fed it nicely through to Silva and created the corner kick. Low ball by Matson. Dangerous clear by Stevens Point. Kind of a low trajectory clear directed near the net. But will be another corner kick for the Raiders. Matson here puts a kind of a longer cross on, not in a bad location. Raiders were there, but not able to really handle that ball real well. There's Balapew again into Matson. Really nice cross there. Silva was offside, though. That was pretty obvious. And so another free kick here for Stevens Point. We're now down to about 5 minutes in the match. Solid game by the Raiders. Good scoring, good defense. They'll have about 4 or 5 days here to prepare for Eau Claire Memorial, who won their match earlier today against Eau Claire North by a score of 5-1. Matson with a nice head flick there. Stevens Point playing it back nicely too. Seen a lot of good play out of Stevens Point today. Just not able to get the scoring on track against the Raiders defense. So a testament to that part of the Raiders squad, playing a game that keeps them out of the real scoring potential. It's also part of what the Raiders do, playing defense all over the field, limits the opportunities their opponents can have. There's Netterlow trying to make something happen. Nice little turn there by Owen, and it's going to be looks like it's kicked off by Stevens Point. I wasn't sure, but it's going to be another corner kick for the Raiders here with about 4 minutes left in the match. That's number 17, Samuel Youssef, in the game for the Raiders. Solom getting a number of players into the match. Give them a little time on the field in the sectionals. You never know when you're going to need people in these later matches that get very physical and very aggressive. And injuries and tough weather and other illnesses can hit. So you want everybody to be as confident as possible. So trying to get as many people on the field as possible. Push off there by Youssef, going to give Stevens Point a free kick. They go deep on it. Alanoff, though, kind of the anchor of that defensive squad, is there to get rid of that. Nice to have Alanoff as a junior as well, because he'll be back to anchor that defensive squad next year again. So this Raider team is well stacked for a run next year as well, with a lot of high quality underclassmen playing this year and playing a lot and starting, and so it's going to be an exciting year next year for the Raiders as well. Schneider picking the ball up, giving it a punt. We're now down to 2 minutes in the match. Nice ball by Hauser. Another offsides call on the Raiders. Matson all over it. Silva back playing some defense. There's Matson again challenging. That's what you do, because what you're doing is you're getting in their head that nothing's going to be easy, and that usually comes out well. Oof. Looked like that ball might have been out, but the whole ball has to cross the line for it to be out. So ref was right there. Silva with a nice head over to Matson, who's going to have a chance here. He's going to have to set up a teammate. That's a nice cross. Good play by the keeper. And 1 minute. And a nice play by Stevens Point keeper. Probably heard we are now down to about 45 seconds actually now. Mizell with a nice clear up to Netterlow. Netterlow trying to thread the needle there. Follows back up, sets in a big cross, a little out of the reach of everyone. Stevens Point with a big throw out by the goalkeeper. Now down to 20 seconds in the match. We'll be looking to see all of you on Thursday night. Please tune in. That'll be a big match with Eau Claire Memorial. Hauser with a quick crossover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Congratulations to the Hudson Raiders on their 4-0 victory. I'd like to thank all the players and coaches for a great match. Thank our officials during Officials Appreciation Day for a great match. And special thanks to all our friends around the field who collected balls so that we could keep this game going nicely. Big high school girls volleyball game coming up tonight at 7 o'clock for people looking for more sports action here. And everybody have a great weekend.